Thank you for all being here this morning. I represent a very congested urban area with every mode of transportation within my district. However, transit funding issues are of particular importance to me at this time due to my state, and I'm from New Jersey. My state's transit agencies trouble finances and some of the highest fares in the country. Despite this administration's neglect of the transit in the President's infrastructure package, I'd like to hear some more of the panel's ideas on innovative federal transit funding models you'd recommend to this committee. Sir?
In the state of Tennessee, the state does not operate transit, and it's operated locally. And so as one of the opportunities we had in our bill, the Improve Act, we allowed cities, large cities and large counties to actually do a referendum to raise taxes to fund transit. And as a matter of fact, as we speak, the city of Nashville is working on a referendum on May the 1st to implement their first large transit program. So that's an opportunity. And obviously, transit has been part of the funding through the Highway Trust Fund for a long time, and I would think that would be a good source, and it should probably continue.
Thank you.
Congressman, I would just add on that. So we're big supporters of full funding of public transit as part of the federal program and as the infrastructure program. So obviously, the gas tax increase that we talked about, we support the 80%, 20% for transit. That needs to continue, so the administration's proposal to eliminate the CIG program we think is a bad idea. We need to fully fund the New Starts programs. I think there's a lot of ways the public transit can look at innovative ways of finance. This subcommittee created a P program trying to incentivize communities to look at public-private partnerships as an opportunity. The Denver Eagle Project was one that was able to utilize that program. There could be others and make it easier for transit to look at. We also got to figure out ways to capture the value around transit stations. Right now, the Federal Transit Administration doesn't fully capture that value, and how do we provide that value into helping defray the cost of those projects? Those are some of the ideas that we have.
Okay. Mr. Spear?
I was going to say buses do benefit from the Highway Trust Fund. So shoring up the trust fund is a critical element to the solution that we would recommend. Our proposal certainly focuses on that, and that's a benefactor. I think making certain that the trust fund as whole is really critical, but also that the monies that go into the trust fund are put back into the designated places. Diversion of funding is really an element that we need to avoid. That we're actually raising money, putting money back in. And tolling schemes don't generally do that. Diversion of funding and diversion of traffic, quite frankly, causes a heck of a lot of problems. You're moving people off those roads into side roads. You're creating more congestion, more problems for those side roads, more congestion and safety issues in communities. These are all very impactful. So making certain that the trust fund monies go into back into the modes that they're intended to is really critical.
Okay, thank you.
Congressman, I would also add that we're talking about transportation system. All these modes need to interconnect, and they all have value. Transit is very important in many of the rural areas of Colorado as well. It's not just the urban areas.
Right.
So I think we need to recognize that we have users of a transportation system, and there are different modes that make sense in different locations.
Okay, no? Okay. Thank you for the answers that you've given, and Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back.